We are asked, which of the functions shown below is differentiable at x equals 2? How would we go about solving this? How would we find which one of these is differentiable at x equals 2? Well, there are three things we need to keep in mind. Three things that tell us if a function is differentiable at a certain point. At that certain point, it has to pass three checks. Those three checks are: first is continuous. It has to be continuous at that point. The second, no vertical tangent. It can't have a vertical tangent at that point. And last but not least, no corner. So it has to be continuous. It has to not have a vertical tangent, and it has to not have a corner in order for it to be differentiable at that point. So let's look at some examples. So what does it mean to be continuous? Let's see what that generally means. A continuous function is a function that doesn't have any breaks or jumps. No holes, jumps. It's just what you would classify as a normal function. That's a continuous function. This is not a continuous function because it jumps, and this is also not a continuous function because it has a hole right there. Okay, so now we know what continuous function, and any differentiable function is continuous. It must be continuous in order for it to be differentiable. And now what does a vertical tangent mean? Well, a vertical tangent is just this. So when a line is going and it goes straight, and the point is, say, right there, this right here is a vertical tangent. It goes through this and it makes a straight line. That's a vertical tangent. And if a function has a vertical tangent, that sadly means it's not differentiable. Okay, get this out of here. Now, we also need to know what a corner means. What's a corner mean? Well, let's write this. Let's draw this graph right here. So any function, say for example, this does not have a corner. What is a corner? A corner would be something like you would see in an absolute value graph. That right there, my friends, that right there is a corner. A corner indeed. So we want to avoid these at all costs, avoid a vertical tangent at all costs, and we want to make sure it's continuous. And then that's how we know it's differentiable. So let's run through our graphs and see which ones are differentiable and which ones are not. Okay, so let's pick a decently dark color for this. Here, is this function continuous? Yeah, I would say it's continuous. It's going from here. I don't see any breaks. I could draw it perfectly fine without lifting my pencil. This is a continuous function. That's great. But does it have vertical tangent? Yeah, it does. It does right here. Look at this. You believe this? That right there? That is a seriously vertically challenged tangent. I don't know what I just said, but that's a vertical tangent right here because it's causing a straight line. So that means that this is not differentiable. Remember, it has to pass all these checks in order for it to be differentiable, and it didn't pass the vertical tangent. It didn't pass one of the checks. That means it's not differentiable at x equals 2. Now we go back here. We look at x equals 2. At this other line, it is continuous at x equals 2. It is also not have a vertical tangent at x equals 2. Will you look at that? We're 2 for 2, baby. And now we have one more thing to check. Does it have a corner? Well, what does this look like? It looks like a corner to me. It does this little straight edge thing right here. That's definitely a corner. So this means that this is also not differentiable. How sad is that? Let's look at this. Now, is this continuous at x equals 2? Well, we're tracing it. Oh, what's this? There's a hole. There's a hole. By golly, I do love me some holes. Not, I don't. I don't, because that means it's not differentiable at that point. It's not differentiable here because it's not continuous, and it has to be continuous in order for it to be differentiable. It has to pass all these checks, and it didn't. Let's check the last graph here. Is it continuous? Yeah, well, I mean, I could trace it perfectly, so it is continuous. It does pass that. Is there a vertical tangent at x equals 2? Let's check. Oh my god, there's no vertical tangent. It doesn't make a straight line here. That's also checked. Does it have a corner? No, it it doesn't have a corner. Look at that. Corner would be like this, or just a sharp turn like that, but there is no corner here. That means that this passes the check. This is differentiable at x equals 2. Yeah, we did it. That's the solution.